What if skipping meals wasn't a mistake but a biological signal? For decades, we've been told that eating frequently keeps the metabolism running, that missing meals is dangerous, and that hunger itself is a warning sign. But beneath those assumptions lies a deeper question science has only recently begun to answer clearly. What actually happens inside the human body when food is absent not for days, but for a full 23-hour cycle? Not theory, not tradition, biology. Today, we're going to walk through the science of eating once a day, hour by hour, not as a trend, not as a diet, but as a metabolic state the human body evolved to enter. What you'll see may challenge what you think you know about hunger, energy, fat, and repair. After a meal, the body enters what scientists call the fed state. Blood glucose rises. Insulin is released. Cells shift into storage and utilization mode. Carbohydrates are prioritized for immediate energy. Excess glucose is packed away as glycogen in the liver and muscles. Dietary fat is stored in adipose tissue. Protein supports tissue maintenance. This state is not harmful. It is necessary. But in modern life, many people never leave it. Continuous snacking, frequent meals, and liquid calories keep insulin elevated for most of the day. This prevents the body from accessing stored energy and keeps digestion perpetually active. Eating once a day changes this dynamic not by removing food, but by creating silence between signals. As digestion completes, insulin begins to fall. This matters more than most people realize. Insulin is not just a blood sugar hormone, it is a storage signal. As long as insulin remains elevated, fat cells stay locked. When insulin drops, the body gains metabolic permission to switch fuels. The stomach empties. The pancreas reduces enzyme output. The gut enters a genuine rest phase. From a systems perspective, this is rare in modern humans. Digestive organs evolved with downtime built in. Without it, inflammation, insulin resistance, and metabolic inefficiency slowly accumulate. This phase is not hunger-driven stress. It is physiological recalibration. By roughly 8 to 12 hours, liver glycogen becomes the primary energy buffer. The liver releases glucose slowly and precisely, maintaining stable blood sugar. Contrary to popular belief, the brain does not run out of fuel at this stage. Cognitive function remains intact. Inside cells, mitochondria, your energy-producing structures begin to increase efficiency. Fat oxidation enzymes upregulate. Waste byproducts decrease. This is not deprivation. It is fuel management. For many people, this is the moment hunger peaks, not because the body is failing, but because modern eating patterns have weakened metabolic flexibility. At approximately 12 hours, a critical metabolic threshold is crossed. Insulin drops to a low baseline. Fat cells unlock. The liver begins producing ketone bodies. Ketones are not emergency fuel. They are a normal, clean-burning energy source, especially for the brain. They reduce oxidative stress and provide a stable signal environment. Many people report clearer thinking, reduced hunger noise, and steady energy during this phase. This is not placebo. It aligns with measurable shifts in neurochemistry and fuel usage. This state is called fasted metabolism, and it is deeply human. Now the most misunderstood process begins. Autophagy. This is the body's internal recycling system. Damaged proteins are dismantled. Malfunctioning cellular components are broken down and reused. Inflammatory debris is cleared. Autophagy does not eat muscle indiscriminately. In fact, growth hormone levels rise during fasting, signaling tissue preservation and repair. This process evolved as a survival advantage, not starvation damage. But constant eating interrupts it before it can complete. Eating once a day gives autophagy time. In the final hours of the fast, fat oxidation becomes dominant. Free fatty acids rise. Ketone production stabilizes. Inflammatory signaling often decreases. This is not aggressive fat loss. It is controlled, regulated energy release. The body is calm, not panicked. Heart rate adapts. Blood pressure often stabilizes. Stress hormones do not spike when adaptation is intact. This is metabolic competence. As the eating window approaches, the body prepares. Digestive enzymes increase. Stomach acid rises. Nutrient transporters activate. When food enters, absorption efficiency is high. Nutrients are directed with precision, less is wasted. This cycle-fasted state to fed state is called metabolic flexibility. It is the ability to switch smoothly between fuel sources. Many modern metabolic disorders are, at their core, a loss of this flexibility. Eating once a day is not magic. It is not required. It is not suitable for everyone. But biologically, it restores a rhythm that constant eating disrupts. It allows insulin to fall. It enables cellular maintenance. It reminds the body how to adapt. This pattern reflects how human physiology evolved, not around constant abundance, but around cycles of input and absence. Your body was never designed to eat all day. It was designed to adapt, to switch fuels, to repair quietly, and to function without constant stimulation. Understanding this isn't about following a rule, it's about understanding your biology well enough to make informed choices. At Pure Science Explained, we don't promote extremes. We explore mechanisms. We separate evidence from assumption. And we ask better questions about how the human body actually works. If you value science explained calmly, clearly, and without hype, consider subscribing to Pure Science Explained. New episodes explore how the body, brain, and biology truly function based on evidence, not trends. Because understanding science isn't about believing more, it's about understanding better.